It's the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here on YouTube. The real news and strong opinions given here. A platform to chop up game with the family, you dig?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
What's good, people? Big Rich here. Big Rich live on the Mike Radio Show. Show 5. Oh, snap. 5 in a row on time. We're back in the building. Bigger than better than ever. Trying to do it, make it do what it do. Today is a Saturday show. Great weekend. Thank you all for your likes and your views of yesterday's show about punk ass Bill O'Reilly. I appreciate it. I had some fun chopping that up, and we spoke about it a lot back and forth on the Twitter feed. As we do starting every show, our Twitter feed is capital B, capital R, live on the mic. Instagram, Big Rich live on the mic, _ between each word. Our email address is bigrichliveo@gmail.com, and the website is www.bigrichliveo@themic.com. Facebook and Blackspot, the same thing. Blackspot.com, Facebook.com, Big Rich Live on the Mic. Follow us across our media. Can I speak now? Follow us across our media platforms. Like, share, subscribe. Chop it up with the family. Do something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, teach me something. Let's chop up the game. I don't know everything. I know, I can't even say I know a little about a lot. I know a lot about a little, or whatever the deal might be. But chop it up. But please like and share this video. Share it to your social media platform. Each one teach one. That's the only way we can build it up. We sort of stagnated around 1,430, 1,428, something like that. So we're trying to do a push to get that over 2,000, 3,000, that type of stuff right there. But I know content works. I know doing what you guys and gals want us to do, talk about these types of things. We're going to expand. We counting it down. We have mostly everything lined up for next Thursday's debut of the African American News, hosted by Big Rich. That would be me. So we just trying to lock down our guest, and then we'll go from there. But we got today, I think the Hump Day show, I said that I was going to read and answer some of your questions, but some of you guys and gals hit me up either through direct mail or something like that, basically saying that, bump them questions. We'll get to those questions. We got some stuff that we need your opinion on. We need to chop up some stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. So I dug back into the bag and I found 3 items. Well, actually 2 items that you guys really wanted my opinion on. And one of them is just because I can't stand this fool. And every time his coon ass says something or puts himself out there, I'm going to call him on it. That's all it is. So the last story is about Big Rich, okay? It's about me. I'm sorry. I have my vices. I don't particularly like certain people. And, when I get a chance to stand up and shout from the rafters, that's what I'm going to do. So our first story, if you look up at the screen right now, it's kind of hard to look on it. We're going to talk about the Florida State Senator. Let me refine that. The former Florida state senator. His name was, he's a Republican. Name was Frank Artiles. He is classified as a white Cuban. What the hell is that? I have no idea. It was a light-skinned Hispanic person. I have no idea. I mean, I'm trying not to be facetious. I know it's sounding like it, but all of this bull crap, look, you Hispanic, and Hispanic is not a true race. But if you're Cuban, you're Cuban. You know, what's this white Cuban, black Cuban? What the hell is that? There's no white, black, and black, or white, white, and black, white. I mean, give me a break. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I know a lot of people does that when you have a person of Hispanic descent that correlates or, you know, basically wants to be white. So they, you know, I'm a white Cuban, or, you know, or they want to be black. They're Afro-Latina. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff right there. It is what it is, whatever. So anybody who don't know what happened, apparently late last week, early this week, he was in a private club near the state capitol, right? And he decides to use the N-word. Now, he tries to define it or separate it, and he didn't mean it as the N-E-R. He meant it as the N-N-A. Nah, bruh, you can't use that at all. Now, it was bad enough that he used it, but he didn't use it like in passing. Like he was talking to his boys, be like, yeah, look at them ends over there, or, you know, them ends is crazy, whatever, which would have been bad in itself. But he was talking to two African-American colleagues of his in that club, one female, one male. I'm trying to understand how he didn't get jumped on. This is just me. You can't come. Now, when I was a cop, did I get called the N-word? Yeah, a couple of times. I mean, in 23 years, I couldn't count it on one hand, you know, at least to my face. You know, I'm a pretty big guy and stuff like that. You know, people are not really going to mess with me too tough, right? But now that I'm a civilian, you can't come up to me and call me no N. I'm just sorry. But anyway, this comes out of the AP report. It says a Florida state senator, I remember I revised it and said a Florida state senator who used a racial slur and vulgar language in a conversation with two African-American colleagues is resigning. Republican Senator or State Senator Frank Artiles, something like that, submitted a resignation letter to the Senate President's office on Friday, 4 days after he used the N-word and vulgarities at a private club near the state capitol. He later apologized on the Senate floor. Democrats was calling for his expulsion, and Republican leadership began an investigation into whether he violated Senate rules. This fool said in his resignation letter that his actions are now a distraction to his colleagues, the legislative process, and Floridians. His resignation is effective immediately. Now, we're not going to get too much in there. I mean, he said what he said. I explained what I said. Now the wild thing is they've been asking for his resignation for days since it happened, you know, on the floor. And he refused to give it. He refused to resign. See, a lot of people need to understand that, yeah, Donald Trump is in office, and there's a lot of people who feel that they can call people N-word, you know, in an official capacity, and they can still survive that. Let me tell you something. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that the President of the United States, as dumb as he is, as powerful in the Republican Party as he is, that he can get caught on tape or in person or something like that, calling a bunch of African Americans the N-word. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that you could survive that in an official capacity. So, you know, he was like, oh, well, you know, I was using the slang. I didn't mean it like that, and this, that, and the third. And then he got up and did this bull crap apology on the Senate floor. Actually, the female of them was looking at him just, you know, in amazement. And the brother couldn't even look at him, even though he was talking to the brother trying to resign. And my thing is, hey, what you say is what you mean. You know, there's an old saying and in my neighborhood, and probably a lot of neighborhoods across the country, drunk minds speak sober thoughts. You say something in jest that, you mean that. You don't, ooh, I slipped. I didn't mean that. You might have slipped, but you meant that. You've said that before. You've called me that before. You got to go. I'm African American, and I cannot, and I've used the word, I've cut down 90%. I only use the word when I'm talking to like one of my best friends. Me and him go back and forth, but we don't do it in company. And I try to back up and not say it. So we just use the MF, verbiage instead of the N word, to sort of cull that name out of our vernacular. But even if I was to say it in front of company or in an official capacity, I'm going to get fired, and I should get fired because I'm a dumbass. Period. I'm dumb. If you don't know that that's not what you're supposed to say in 2017, you don't need to be nobody's senator. You don't need to own nothing. You don't need to be in charge of nothing. You don't need to oversee nothing. That's my thing about that. I'm glad he's gone. Sometimes you feel hopeless because you feel that white supremacy is so bad, racism and bigotry is so bad that there's really nothing you can do. Every now and again, you have something that comes up. And like I said in yesterday's show, What's the Real Deal with Bill O'Reilly, because I correlate the two. Don't be so upset that, okay, he said racist and homophobic and misogynistic things and never got disciplined, but he tried to grab or whatever he was doing, harassing 5 white women, and then he loses his job. Okay, yeah, that sucks on his face, but the fact of the matter is he's gone, and that was your final goal, period. Our next subject is an African American female judge in New York. Her name is Sheila Abdus-Salaam. Sheila Abdus-Salaam, the first female black judge in U.S. history. Now, they say, these people are saying that she was the first black Muslim judge. I want to know, how did they come up with that? Because the husband is saying that he is the Muslim and she never went over. She never committed to that. I mean, she got his last name. She kept her last name. She hyphenated his last name. So I'm trying to figure out, did they come up with this and brand her as the first black Muslim judge just because of her last name? Because like I said, the husband and other people are saying that she's not Muslim, but it is what it is. She was found dead in the Hudson River in New York on Wednesday. This was, 3 days ago? Miss Salaam's husband had reported her missing on Tuesday morning. The police reported that she was found fully clothed in a section of the river near her Harlem home. New York, the first time they came out, the first time anybody said anything, right? They were saying that it was a suicide, right? And I'm like, how the hell do you say it's a suicide? Y'all haven't done an autopsy yet. The clear thing that would show that it was a suicide is if she had water in her lungs. So to alleviate that, you just say it's a suspicious death and you move it on. But we're going to get to why a lot of people in the African-American community are outraged, but we'll get to that. New York City Police Department on Tuesday said that the death of Justice Salaam, a New York Court of Appeal judge whose body was found in the bank of the Hudson River in Miami last night, is suspicious. The NYPD said that it would treat the death as suspicious because there are no immediate indications of suicide or criminality. We have a middle-aged woman deceased. This is quote, "We have a middle-aged woman deceased in the water with all her clothes on. No signs of homicide or suicide," end quote. That's NYPD Sergeant Brandon Ryan told the ABC News Tuesday. However, people who were quoted, but talking on the condition of anonymity, was saying that it was apparent suicide or that it was being investigated as a suicide. How the hell do you do that? You don't do that. I was never a detective, in 23 years. I was an instructor. I was a bicycle officer. I was a regular patrolman, right? But I knew enough about investigations, and we've done enough investigations to understand that you start with a blank canvas. Unless you see somebody got a knife stuck in their back, okay, now this might be a homicide or something like that. Some gun wounds or some knife wounds or something like that. Even if you find a knife sticking out the back of somebody, that doesn't mean that knife killed them. So I don't know how these people were automatically, just sitting around and say, oh, well, we're going to investigate it as a suicide. Here it is. Here's the last thing. Quote, when a body is found floating in the water, it is deemed suspicious by nature, absence any clear signs of criminality. The cause of death is determined by the medical examiner, he added. The department said it in a statement that the death appears to be non-criminal, but that at this point we can't say for sure. So why would you even say that it was non-criminal? This is why people in the African American community was upset. The rates of suicide by race, not even by gender, by race, from 2000 to 2015, is from the CDC, right? As you could see, Caucasians and American Indians are by far, I'm talking about by far, and it's climbing higher. Look at the one all the way at the bottom. Look at the one all the way at the bottom. All the way at the bottom is us. It's African Americans. It is you talking about a middle-aged woman who was a circuit judge, very accomplished. As far as we knew, again, we only going by what the husband says and what family members say. She had a good marriage. She was healthy. She wasn't dealing with any type of issues. No outlandish debt or death threats, or she was up for impeachment or anything like that. What the hell would make you think that she would take her ass from her house down to the Hudson River and jump in and kill herself? Now, can it happen? Anything can happen. I can get struck by lightning right here, even though I'm sitting in my studio. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anything is possible. Anything can happen. But that don't mean that it's something that you can automatically say, or you sit down there and say, well, there's nothing criminal that we can see, so we're going to get the hell out of here. Somebody, and the thing is, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I heard a lot. I've read a lot of your tweets back to me, and they were saying, oh, she was somebody who, gave hell to the police, and she held them accountable, and the unions and all that. And that very well might be true. But I'm not 100% sure to sit up there and be like, well, shoot, the cops might have did it to her. They might have. Who knows? Who knows? But I'll tell you this. I bet $1 million to a penny that it would be more likely that it was a homicide than a suicide. That's all I'll say on that way. Rest in peace. I'm sorry for your loss to Mrs. Salaam, and I hope that they find out what's going on. So that's the end of that segment, and that is my opinion. Last segment, like I said, this is me. This is about that coon ass, full of shit ass Steve Harvey. It's just what it is. Steve Harvey was walking down the street. He had TMZ of all people shove a microphone in front of his fat ass lips and asked him about what he think about the first 100 days for President Trump. I know I said President Trump. I say President Transgendering, but I'm trying to quote the whole story. Quote from Steve Harvey: as far as doing what he promised me he would do, he's doing it, Harvey told TMZ. I'm working with HUD. I'm going to get some housing for underprivileged people. We're going to set up some centers around the country. I've met with HUD. It's going really well. God willing, it will work out. What? You know what? There is a saying from Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more slaves if they only knew that they was a slave. Steve Harvey is a clown. He is being played. He ignorant. First of all, he ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm not even going to get into his personal life. He just ain't the sharpest knife in the freaking drawer. So what the hell make you think that you the one of all the scholars, of all the people who have expertise in urban development and what is needed for the black community and the underprivileged community? What makes you think that I'm not even, and I'm a college graduate, and I'm not even qualified? Yes, I have no issue with him going to sitting at the table, because this is what he says. Let's finish this. He said, quote, he's keeping his word of what he said that he'd do. Harvey added when asked if he was happy with the job Trump has done so far. I think to think like the man producer faced heavy criticism over his decision to work with the Trump White House. CNN contributor Mike Lamont Hill called Harvey a mediocre Negro who is seeking attention, while rappers and reality TV star T.I. said Harvey should know better than to meet with Trump. Now, I have no problem. There's going to be another quote that I'm going to read before we end this from. I have no problem with you meeting with the devil. I really don't. Because if you don't meet with them, there's nothing that you can demand. But I understand you need to stay in your lane. And what I mean is, okay, Steve Harvey got this. We all know why he got the invitation, because he's a coon. But let's just say he flipped the script and he'd be like, okay, I'm going to come to the table, but I'm going to bring somebody who I know. I'm going to bring some lawyers. I'm going to bring some other cats that been in the street. So we can have this discussion with people who know what the hell is going on. You talking about this fool. I met with HUD. We gonna do some things. Ignorant. I'm gonna get some housing for underprivileged people. We're gonna start to set up centers all around the country. Fool, there's centers all around the country now. What the hell are you talking about? And where the hell is all this money supposed to be coming from when they cutting shit? They trying to obliterate the safety net. You just a fool. Just a fool sitting around there with your big soup cooling ass lips because you got a little bread. You just sitting around here just ignorant. So here's Harvey. I'll end that segment on this. He says, Harvey defended his decision to work with Trump, saying, change can only happen when we sit at the table. If we sit at the table, then we can have a say in what's being eaten on the menu. I have an obligation to take a seat at the table when invited. Well, first of all, Willie D said this on his commentary a couple of days ago. He was like, so when do you go into somebody else's house and tell them what the hell to cook? That analogy makes no damn sense. Now, yes, the overall, probably what he was trying to say as far as, if you're not at the table, you really can't say anything. But see, you got to come to the table with demands. You got to come to the table and say, look, this is what we need to be done. This is what needs to be done. Not, oh, he kept his promise to you. Well, what promise did he make to you, Steve? That would have been my question. You talking about it's going really well, God willing, it will work out. What the hell does that mean? So I would have asked, okay, Steve, what did he promise you? What did he promise you? What word did he give you? Because in the first 100 days, he ain't do shit but piss people off, foreign and domestic. He's helped rich white cats and racist white cats achieve while trying to log off and kill out everybody else. See, my thing is this. This is one of many things that I love about the late, great Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Martin was like, I'm not going to, okay, you treating me well. Okay. I got access to the White House. I'm eating a little bit. You treat me well. But I can't sit up here and be like, okay, you treat me well, but you screwing them. The whole Vietnam thing. He was like, there's just no correlation. So see, Steve's sitting around here because he's sitting fat like a fat cat. He done got all these women sitting around here kissing his ass like he is the one and only about relationships and shit. Get the hell out of here. Negro, you on your third marriage. And your wife, I said I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to go there. But every time I look at him, and I used to like Steve Harvey. I never thought that Steve Harvey was the funniest, but I watched him like Kings of Comedy. I watched him, but when he started getting what I call that white money, when he started being more corporate, he done sold his soul. He done sold his soul. And what kills me is we too damn stupid to realize that and be like, you know what you do? Stay on over there with them. We good. Guarantee you there's 1,000 more funnier than your big lip ass out there, and that's who we gonna follow. That's who we gonna blow up. And then when the dominant society is finished with you, because we no longer mess with you, you'll get that moment like we all get throughout our lives. Us melanated people. So I'm not going to go as far as what T.I. said is I should know, or she should know better to meet with Trump. I feel that he should know better. He should have known better to meet with Trump by himself. Dumbass. Like, I'm going to get, look at this. Because they quote him, TMZ of all play, they racist ass. I met with HUD. It's going real well. God willing, it will work out. What the hell does that mean, Steve? What does that mean? He's keeping his word to what he said he would do. To who? And what did he say he was going to do? But see, that just lets you know TMZ is not journalists at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about that. Because anybody else who gave a damn would have followed that up. Well, okay. Well, what did he say he was going to do for you? Did he say he was just going to talk? See, because I could sit up there and say, hey, we'll discuss that. We'll put together a committee and we'll discuss that. I could discuss it for 4 years and not do shit. So my thing is like, yo, that's cool. I appreciate that, but I need some substance. I need you to let me know that if we come with something that is feasible financially, you're gonna roll with it. Not we'll come up with something, we'll put together this big old binder, send it out to everybody, and everybody use it as a placeholder. He's a fool. He's a fool and he's dangerous. Actually, that's not true. Steve Harvey is not dangerous. Steve Harvey is stupid. He's too stupid to be dangerous. Now, the head of HUD, Dr. Carson, is dangerous because he's stupid too, but he's in the position, he's the secretary of HUD. So he is in the position to pull the purse strings or to choke off the money. Steve Harvey ain't got no damn power. He ain't got no power. Steve Harvey will learn. Him, Stephen A. Smith, Charles Barkley, they will learn. They will learn, or they just going to have to keep shucking and jiving. Sambo, yes, a bossing for the rest of their lives. And then that eventually is going to get tired for the dominant society and they're going to kick him to the curb. So it is what it is. So that's how I feel about that. Sorry, I went on a little rant. Can't stand his ass if you don't know. It is what it is. We went to see a movie last night. I will be doing the movie review on the movie review show Monday. So get that. We'll be back for the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show Wednesday for the Hump Day Show. I'm not even going to say what I'm going to do because then I say what I'm going to do and then I change it depending on what it is. But Thursday, we will be launching the African American News hosted by Big Rich. And I hope that you guys are just as excited as I am, because I truly am. I want to wish you guys well. I want to wish you guys the best, which is the same thing. Do what you need to do to make this world a better place. Be a better person. If you're a man, be a better person. Be a better father. Be a better brother. Be a better boyfriend. Be a better husband. Be a better mentor. Be a better co-worker. Do what you can to be a better person. Be the best person you can be. And on that note, in the meantime, in between time, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, Peace. And I'm out of here.